All right, let's just dive right in. Is AI going to create a new generation of super-powered software developers, or is it going to make their jobs obsolete before they even get started? That is the billion-dollar question that the entire tech industry is grappling with right now. And honestly, the stakes could not be higher.
And you can see right away just how intense this debate is getting. That's a quote from Matt Garman, the CEO of Amazon Web Services, and he is not mincing words. He's pushing back hard on this idea that you can just swap out junior developers for AI. I mean, his point is pretty simple. If no one learns the fundamentals today, where are your senior engineers of tomorrow going to come from? It's not just about jobs, it's about losing a whole generation of expertise.
And this is the paradox at the very heart of this story. On the one hand, you have AI adoption just exploding. I mean, get this, Microsoft says AI is already writing almost a third of its new code. But then you look at the other side, and the number of entry-level tech jobs has completely cratered, down a staggering 60% in just a couple of years. So, where's all this new productivity actually going?
That brings us to our first section, where we're going to dig into this AI job paradox. We're talking hard data here, because this anxiety that you're feeling across the industry, it's not just a vibe. The numbers tell a pretty stark story.
Let's just start with this number, over 100,000. That's how many jobs were impacted by layoffs in just the last year, where companies explicitly said AI was part of the reason. This is not a small ripple, folks. This is a massive wave crashing through the workforce.
And it's not a secret either. We've had more than 45 CEOs go on the record publicly linking these layoffs directly to the new efficiencies they're getting from artificial intelligence. They're telling us exactly what's happening.
And as you can see here, this isn't just a tech bubble thing. You've got UPS and logistics, Amazon and tech, Salesforce and enterprise software. They're all trimming their headcount and pointing to automation and AI. This trend is cutting across the entire economy.
So here's where it really hits home. All those corporate decisions, they have a direct impact on people. For the first time in a long time, getting a computer science degree isn't the golden ticket it used to be. The unemployment rate for new CS grads is now one of the highest of any major. That's a shocking reversal from just a few years ago.
And this leads us to the second, and maybe even more dangerous part of this whole story. We're talking about the vanishing first rung of the ladder. If those entry-level jobs are disappearing, what happens to the way people learn in the first place?
So check this out. This chart shows what one study is calling the experience paradox. A massive 78% of junior developers say they trust AI-generated code. Compare that to their senior colleagues, only about 39% do. So why the huge gap? Well, seniors have spent years, sometimes decades, hunting down those subtle, infuriating bugs. They've earned a skepticism that juniors just haven't had the time to develop yet.
And, that trust, it comes with a price. Research has identified this thing called the comprehension gap. Turns out when junior devs learn with constant help from AI, their actual fundamental understanding of the code drops by a whopping 17 points. Sure, they might be faster, but they're losing that deep foundational knowledge.
And this really breaks it down. The traditional way to get good at this stuff was built on struggle, right? You'd hit a wall, you'd wrestle with a problem for hours, you'd debug, and that's where the real learning happened. The AI path, though, it risks short-circuiting that entire process. You just ask for the answer, and you get it. But you miss out on the journey, which was the whole point. As one engineer, Chris Baines, put it, the real danger isn't that AI automates jobs, it's that it automates the learning process itself. That classic apprenticeship model, where juniors learn by doing and failing under the watchful eye of a senior, that's what's at risk of completely breaking down.
Okay, so we've laid out some pretty big problems. But what's the solution? Well, this brings us to a fundamental reset of what it even means to be a skilled developer in this new era. The skills that matter are changing, and they're changing fast.
The legendary engineer Kent Beck gives us a really powerful way to think about this. Everything on the left, like memorizing exact syntax or every part of a framework, AI is making that stuff less and less valuable. But it's making the human skills on the right more valuable. We're talking about high-level strategic thinking, system design, and what he calls taste, that gut feeling for good, clean, quality code, that so far AI just can't replicate.
This means there's a whole new toolkit of skills that are basically becoming mandatory. You have to be great at writing prompts, at checking the AI's work, and at debugging code that you didn't even write. But you know what? Maybe the most important new skill is knowing when to tell the AI to take a break, knowing when you need to struggle through a problem yourself to really truly learn it.
So where does this all leave us? Based on everything we're seeing, it looks like the industry is standing at a fork in the road, staring down two very different futures. And the path we pick is going to define this industry for a generation.
On one side, you've got the really optimistic view, the rise of the supercharged junior. This is an AI native developer who can build and learn faster and more powerfully than anyone who came before. But then there's the pessimistic view, the hollowed-out career ladder. You've got senior architects at the top, AI doing all the grunt work at the bottom, and just no clear path for new talent to even get in the door.
Representing that optimistic camp, you've got leaders like Google CEO Sundar Pichai. In his view, AI is a tool, an accelerator. It gets rid of the boring, tedious stuff and frees up everyone, juniors included, to focus on the more creative, high-impact problems.
But then, you get hit with a dose of reality. You have the CEO of Salesforce, Mark Benioff, announcing that his company is just going to stop hiring new engineers next year, and he's specifically citing productivity gains from AI. This is a real-world, massive company that seems to be choosing that hollowed-out path.
So how do we navigate this? Whether you're a student trying to break in, a junior developer trying to grow, or a company leader trying to build a team, this last section is about an actionable playbook for surviving and hopefully thriving in this massive transition.
Okay, for all the aspiring developers out there, the message is clear. First, use AI as your copilot, not your autopilot. It's an ally, not a crutch. Second, you have to build rock-solid fundamentals. That just means getting really good at breaking down big, complex problems into small, logical steps. That skill is more valuable than ever. And finally, show, don't just tell. A portfolio of real projects you've actually built now speaks way louder than a degree.
And for the companies listening, the advice is just as urgent. Don't sacrifice your long-term future for short-term gains. You have to maintain that talent pipeline. You can't hire the senior engineers of 2035 if you don't invest in training them today. Teach your juniors how to work with AI, focusing on critical thinking and validating its output. And please avoid the trap of leaning so heavily on AI that your human talent pool just withers away.
And that really brings us to the final and most important question of all. Look, we know AI is going to write code. That ship has sailed. The real challenge, the one that's going to define the future of innovation, is this. Who is going to teach the next generation of humans how to read it, how to understand it, and how to question it? That's what really matters.